An aide to former President Donald Trump and key contributor to Project 2025, John McEntee, wants to ban your porn. That's right. McEntee had joined Daily Wire host Michael Knowles and said, quote, "You bring up the elephant in the room, which is a stain on not only society, but the entire dating culture as well, which is pornography." I mean, look, he might know something about pornography and stains. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying. But he says, whenever America bans that, which will be happening at some point, everyone will be much better off. Well, look, I hate to say that this is sounds like more of a personal problem that you're taking out on the rest of the country, but that's what it sounds like. Now, McEntee's been going around talking about dating as a conservative, and look, dating as a conservative, generally, they don't seem to have much luck in the dating scene at this point. So maybe that might have something to do with some of the stuff that he's saying. But look, this guy received seed money from billionaire tech investor and Trump supporter Peter Thiel, creating a dating app for conservatives called The Right Stuff. Now, what happened to The Right Stuff? Now, it's currently still going. I mean, it's still something that you can download, but there's some issues. Number one, it being essentially a sausage fest.
Tallywhacker.
As far as the eye can see, not a lot of women are joining for obvious reasons, okay? It's not surprising. Look, basically what they've done is created a literal safe space for right-wingers, with it being invite only. Okay, so that's one of the issues here. It caters to a very, very small audience of, Republicans, right-wingers, social conservatives, etc. So that's one of the problems there. But apparently this guy thinks that the problems, the ills in society, getting to the bigger point, is because of porn. And if you just ban the pornography, it will get better. Wait, what does that have to do with any of that? Now, I mentioned Project 2025. Guess what? Banning porn is one of the major parts of that. In fact, it states that pornography is as addictive as any illicit drug and as psychologically destructive as any crime. Pornography should be outlawed. The people who produce it and distribute it should be imprisoned. Seriously? Seriously, this is what they think. Now, look, here's the thing. I'm not saying pornography doesn't have issues. But what it is, it's fantasy. I don't think there's anything wrong with having fantasy. In fact, that's one of the main draws, to get away from reality. There's a problem, though, when supplants real sex ed, okay? This is what you get, though, when you ban comprehensive sex ed, which they have done in so many red states. What happens is you turn young people who are curious to watching pornography, which, again, is fantasy. So they learn all the wrong things because pornography is not sex ed. Sex ed is sex ed, and you should have comprehensive sex ed. See, this is a real issue, right? And one of the other issues with pornography is workers' rights. The industry itself has a lot of labor issues that, they're starting to come around because of what happened during the pandemic, but there's still a need for better working conditions, higher pay, especially for some of the female workers, treatment of women in the workplace, health insurance, etc., as well as, issues with these companies being debanked. So you have banks, a lot of financial institutions that don't want to work with adult film companies as a result of the stigma. That said, Michael Knowles and John McEntee do not see that as a problem. No, they see the existence of naked people, being able to look at naked people, as that's the big problem. And if we just ban that, we will make all of our problems disappear. In fact, McEntee told Knowles, the minute that goes away, this country will flourish. No, insane. All right, insane. And also totally anti-freedom, okay? See, the country will actually flourish after a few things happen. When rich people start paying their fair share of taxes, okay? Recent report came out where billionaires are now paying a lower tax rate than working class individuals. That's insane, okay? And Another way that, this country will get better, will flourish, is when every worker is able to join a union and collectively bargain for better wages and working conditions. When every man, woman, and child is guaranteed health care, housing, and food. When child care is something that is universal, this country will flourish when people have freedom and economic security, not whatever backwards dystopian, Christian nightmare hellhole this guy wants to create. Like, to have the police, what are they going to do? Have the police come into your house if you dare to watch an adult film? That's insanity. It's insanity. Completely unenforceable, by the way, as well. But it's also the same kind of ridiculous energy as former Virginia Attorney General Ken Cuccinelli, who wanted to, remember, he ran on a platform of banning oral sex. Now, did he become governor of Virginia? No, he did not, because he ran against oral sex. Come on! Look, this is not one of the issues that is facing the American people. Porn is not why inflation is up. Porn is not why people can't afford housing. Porn is not why people can't spend time with their children because they're too busy off working their second job. Okay? Porn didn't do any of that stuff. Didn't do any of that stuff. So, yeah, there's of course a reason why he's barking up this particular tree, and that's because it's a distraction. Now, I want to go to something else McEntee said during this interview with Knowles that is also quite disturbing.
No actual American girl that grew up in a, traditional, normal American family wants a guy that goes to the Women's March. I don't even care if they're liberal. I think as well. I think this video has made me rethink the 19th Amendment.
So this video makes me think of rethinking the 19th Amendment. I watched a video on TikTok, and suddenly I am against women's suffrage. I'm sorry, what? What does that have to do? Okay, but look, once again, this is conservatives showing that they despise women. They don't think that women are capable of making their own choices. They infantilize women. And that's what's weird and bizarre about it. They do not think that women are capable of making their own decisions. And that ties back to some of the stuff that I had talked about before, and in the fact that they don't want women to make decisions because oftentimes women are not choosing them. And that's one of their big problems, okay? Like, women are too smart to fall for their crap or to take their crap. And so they're like, oh, you know what? Why don't we just take away their choices so then they'll have to choose us? And right there is the current conservative dating zeitgeist, and zeitgeist against reproductive rights, against no-fault divorce. It's where all of that comes from. Women are making the choices, and they're just mad that those choices don't involve choosing them. Hey, maybe if you become better men, the women won't choose the bear.